There are stories in Scripture that shake the soul. Stories that pull us into the raw tension between obedience and heartbreak, faith and fear. But there is one moment in biblical history that stands alone. A test so severe, so intimate, so impossible, that it forever redefined what it means to trust God. It happened on a quiet morning, to a man called Abraham, and to the son he waited a lifetime to hold. Before we begin, if you love deep biblical storytelling told with reverence, accuracy, and cinematic detail, go ahead and subscribe to this channel now. Your support helps us bring these ancient moments back to life. Today, we journey to Moriah, to the mountain of testing, to a father, a son, and a God who never breaks his promise. The day began like any other. The camp was still. The air carried the coolness of early morning. And Abraham, now well over 100 years old, rose before dawn to pray as he often did, unaware that the greatest test of his life was moments away. Then came the voice, clear, familiar, undeniable.
Abraham.
And he answered, as he always had, "Here I am." A pause, a holy silence. Then the words that shattered the stillness.
Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and offer him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you.
Isaac, the promised child, the miracle, the very embodiment of God's covenant. Abraham's heart must have trembled. Yet Scripture records no argument, no hesitation, only obedience. Because Abraham had learned something across a lifetime of walking with God. If God gives a promise, then even death cannot cancel it. Without a word of complaint, Abraham rises. He saddles the donkey. He gathers wood for the burnt offering. And he quietly calls 2 servants and Isaac. Imagine the weight in Abraham's chest. The firewood scratching against the rope. The crack of the donkey's harness. The innocent footsteps of a boy who has no idea what this journey means. Isaac, strong, curious, thoughtful, walks beside his father, trusting him completely. This is where Abraham's faith becomes more than belief. It becomes action. He doesn't delay. He doesn't negotiate. He obeys. Because the promise God made was clear. Through Isaac your descendants shall be named. If Isaac must die, then Abraham believes God will raise him. A faith beyond reason. A trust beyond explanation. 3 days. 3 long, silent, agonizing days. The road to Moriah stretches across rocky terrain. Winds push against them. Heat presses down. Nights grow cold. Abraham walks and thinks. Each step is an act of surrender. But somewhere along that desert road, Abraham sees something ahead, the mountain God had spoken of, a silhouette against the horizon. And Abraham stops the servants. "Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there and worship, and we will come back to you. We will come back. Not I will return alone. But we." Faith speaks even when the circumstances scream otherwise. Isaac carries the wood on his back. Abraham carries the fire and the knife. Father and son walk alone. Then Isaac breaks the silence. "My father, the fire and the wood are here. But where is the lamb for the offering?" Abraham looks at his son. The son he loves. The son he waited decades to hold. And with a voice steady from trust, not certainty, he says, "God himself will provide the lamb." And the two continue up the mountain. Together. At the summit, the wind grows stronger. Cold, sharp, relentless. But Abraham's hands remain steady. He builds an altar stone by stone. Each stone a declaration. "I trust you." Then with trembling love, Abraham turns to Isaac. The scriptures do not describe a struggle. No running. No shouting. Because Isaac, very likely a teenager by now, trusts his father just as his father trusts God. Isaac allows himself to be bound. He lies upon the wood. He looks up at the sky, then at the face of the man who raised him. Abraham lifts the knife. Time slows. The world narrows into this single moment. A father's heartbreak. A son's surrender. A divine silence so heavy it presses upon the soul. Then, just as Abraham prepares to strike, a voice tears through the silence.
Abraham, Abraham.
He stops. His grip loosens. He answers, desperate, trembling. Here I am. And God speaks.
Do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me.
Abraham collapses with relief. Then he hears it, a rustling behind him. He turns and sees a ram caught in a thicket. The Lord had provided. Abraham lifts the ram onto the altar instead, offering it in worship. And he names that place Jehovah-Jireh, the Lord will provide. On that mountain, God reaffirmed his promise. Through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed. And Abraham and Isaac walked down the mountain, together. Just as Abraham had said, the journey up the mountain had been heavy, but the journey down was different. It carried a strange silence. Not the silence of sorrow, but the silence that comes after witnessing something divine. Abraham walks slowly, each step measured, as if his legs are learning movement again. For the first time, Isaac walks behind him, not out of distance, but reverence. He has just witnessed a moment that only a handful of humans in all of history would ever experience. A moment where heaven stepped into the breaking point of a father's love. Isaac is no longer simply a boy. He has seen his life placed on an altar. He has seen his father lift a blade for the sake of obedience. And he has seen Jehovah-Jireh reveal himself with thunderous clarity. The wind hums through the rocks. Birds circle in the distance. The sun lowers in the sky as father and son find their rhythm again. Abraham looks back at Isaac. Their eyes meet. And in that glance lies a lifetime of unspoken words. No anger, no resentment, only trust. Trust between father and son. Trust between man and God. For Isaac has now learned firsthand what Abraham learned years before. God is faithful even when the command is difficult to understand. As they continue down the mountain, the silence breaks at last. Isaac clears his throat. His voice is softer than usual, thoughtful, deepened by everything he has just experienced. Father, was this truly God's will? Abraham stops walking. The question hangs in the cooling air. Abraham turns to Isaac and places a hand on his shoulder. My son, God never desired your death. He desired my trust. And he wanted to reveal something to both of us, that he provides long before we understand the need. Isaac nods slowly, his young mind processing something profound, that obedience does not always bring comfort, but it always leads to revelation. They walk again. Then Isaac asks a second question. Would you have truly gone through with it? Abraham pauses, breathing deeply. Isaac, I believe that even if you died, God would raise you. Because he made a covenant with you, not just with me. And God does not break his word. This time, Isaac understands. His father's trust had not been blind. It had been rooted in years of witnessing the impossible. He remembers the stories told around the fire. How God spoke to Abraham under starry skies. How God promised descendants as numerous as the heavens. How his mother Sarah laughed at the idea of bearing a child in her old age. And how God fulfilled even that. Isaac exhales, letting the revelation settle in his heart. The story of Moriah will not be forgotten. It will shape nations. At the base of the mountain, the servants rise the moment they see Abraham and Isaac. Their eyes widen, for they know Abraham left with a command from God, but they did not know the result. Isaac is alive. Abraham is walking with renewed strength. A servant steps forward. "My lord, shall we prepare the camp?" Abraham simply nods. But the servants exchange glances. Something happened on that mountain. Something beyond human explanation. They do not ask, for the radiance on Abraham's face says enough. The camp grows busy, tying supplies, folding tents, tightening ropes. But Isaac sits beside the fire, silent, gazing into the flames. For the first time, he understands what it truly means to belong to God's promise. He is not just a son. He is a covenant, a living prophecy, a descendant through whom nations will be blessed. Abraham watches him from a distance, a father proud and humbled. He sees not just his child, but the faithfulness of God made flesh. The road back to Beersheba winds across rolling hills and scattered shade trees. The journey is long, but this time the air feels lighter, as if heaven itself is walking with them. Along the way, Abraham reflects quietly on everything that happened. He thinks of the knife, the altar, the ram, the voice of the angel of the Lord. Each memory trembles with power, like lightning captured in a jar. Isaac walks beside him, more contemplative than before. He studies his father's steps, learning not just how a man walks, but how a man walks with God. The desert winds rise, carrying the scent of distant soil. Nomad tribes pass in the distance. Herders guide sheep across dry riverbeds. Merchants lead caravans toward foreign markets. But none of them know, none of them grasp, that two of the most important people in the future of humanity are walking quietly across this unremarkable stretch of earth. Abraham and Isaac, the covenant bearer and the covenant promised, the father and the son who survived the test. While the men travel back, the story turns to Sarah. Sarah paces inside her tent, her hands trembling, her thoughts circling like trapped birds. Abraham had left days ago with Isaac, but she did not know why. Abraham told her little. Perhaps he feared she would not understand. Perhaps he wanted to protect her. But a mother knows when something is wrong. Each hour feels like a lifetime. Each night, she lies awake, imagining the worst. She remembers the years she spent barren, the tears she cried, the shame she felt, and the miracle God gave her when Isaac was finally born. And now Isaac is gone, on a journey she does not understand. With a husband whose silence frightens her, she kneels and prays, "Lord, let my son return to me." Her prayer rises like incense, and on the horizon at last, dust begins to rise, the dust of returning footsteps. Sarah stands outside the tent, shielding her eyes from the sun. Then she sees Isaac, alive, whole, walking beside Abraham. Her legs nearly give way. She runs toward him, a mother's sprint, driven by relief, fear, and overwhelming love. She throws her arms around Isaac, tears streaming. My son, you are safe." Isaac holds her tightly. Abraham watches the reunion with quiet gratitude. He knows Sarah will never fully understand what happened on the mountain, but he also knows God carried them through something sacred, something that will echo throughout eternity. That night, their camp burns bright with firelight. There is laughter. There is food. There is worship. Abraham leads his household in prayer. Blessed be the Lord, who keeps his promises, who provides for his children, who turns every test into a testimony. Time passes. Isaac grows into a man. Abraham grows older, his beard white as desert sand. But the memory of Moriah does not fade. It becomes a story told around fires, a lesson fathers teach sons, a symbol of absolute trust. The people of the region speak of Abraham with awe, not because of his wealth, not because of his herds, but because of his obedience. He becomes known as the friend of God, the father of faith. Generations later, the mountain of Moriah will take on a new name, Jerusalem, and on a nearby hill, another son, the true Lamb, will be offered, not rescued, not spared, but given for the world. The story of Abraham and Isaac becomes a prophecy, a shadow of a greater sacrifice yet to come, because faith is not just believing God exists. Faith is trusting Him even when the path leads to an altar. And the God of Abraham remains the same today. A God who tests, but also provides. A God who asks for trust, but always keeps His promise. A God who sees the end from the beginning. And on the mountain of the Lord, it shall be provided.